Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to another episode of our Rosal Engage Live. I hope you're all doing well and safe. My name is Jardine and with me,
Dorian.
And together we are your destination relationship specialist at Rosal Developments Limited. Alright, so just allowing everyone to come on to the live. Thank you for continuing to join us. We appreciate your interest. We are here to serve you, looking forward to hosting you for any of your weddings and events. So, just a quick reminder, we've been coming to you live Wednesdays weekly, Wednesday mornings, and we've been discussing different topics. We've been visiting different venues so that you can learn and know more about Rosal. We appreciate your feedback. Feel free to let us know anything specifically you'd like to learn, what it is that we offer at Rosal. So just a quick reminder, here we offer 7 exclusive and exquisite venues for any event. We have the Rosal Great House, or Cinnamon Hill Great House, former home of country legend Johnny Cash. We have our White Witch Golf Course, our 18th century ruin, the Aqueduct, beautiful rustic backdrop. We have our Cinnamon Hill, our church, Mount Zion Church, great for traditional ceremonies. We also have our Ocean's Edge and our Alluring Palms venue for that destination beach wedding. A pleasant reminder as well that we're currently offering a 20% discount on our venue rental fees. We are offering complimentary site inspections, so if you want to come over and see our venues, we will make ourselves available to do that with you. And also we're currently booking photo shoots. So if anyone is interested in having a family photo shoot, an engagement photo shoot, birthdays, if you got married and want to come over to one of our venues to have a photo shoot, that can also be done. And outside of just the venue, we offer quite an array of services, and my teammate Jodianne will tell you more about that.
So hi viewers, welcome back once more. And as Jardine mentioned, we do offer a list of services, and that starts with orchestrating your wedding vision, implementing that of course, and also coordinating the decor, the setup, the entertainment, the food and beverage, the transportation, the minister arrangements, and accommodations if necessary. You can contact us today. Our number is 876-953-2341, or you can send us an email at weddingsandevents@rosal.com. So the topic today is quite interesting, isn't it, Journey?
It is, and I'm looking to see who's online, George. We're going to be joining. It's going to be quite an engaging live today. We're super excited. I am seeing where Michael Sab is already logged in. We're going to be speaking to him, an extraordinary photographer, Michael. We have Elite Media Concepts. I'm seeing you, Eddie. You've already logged in. I love that. Good morning to you. And of course, our very own resident photographer and wedding photographer, Gary. I always call him Gary. So it's Gary. Nice to see you, gentlemen. And for our viewers, you are in for a treat today, as we're going to be speaking to these persons about what it is that they offer and their take on, like Jody just said,
right. So the topic that we're looking at today is to do or not to do a first look for your wedding photos. Now, so before we get into the meat of the matter, Jardine and I will share our opinions on that. But for those viewers who do not know what we are talking about, a first look really is when a couple decides to see each other on their wedding day before the start of their ceremony. And in this instance, it is for photos.
It is. And the tradition of this, well, this is very new, because prior to the first look even being a concept, the tradition was there that the bride and groom should not see each other before the wedding.
Yes.
It is deemed bad luck. Correct. Is everyone seeing us clearly? Let's just ensure that you can see us clearly.
And hear us clearly.
Give us a thumbs up if you're seeing and hearing us clearly. Alright, let's see those in the comments.
Seems to be fine. I'm not seeing any feedback.
Does it look okay? Right?
It's
Alright, everyone, give us a moment.
Yes,
Okay.
give us a few.
Hello, Mr. Burrows. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. The connector, good morning. Gary, thank you. Thank you. So, yes, you are seeing us.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Excellent.
Awesome.
So yes, Jules, like we were saying.
Yes. For me, though, Jordy, so sorry to put you, but for me, it was, I decided not to do a first look, right? I wanted to keep it traditional. I wanted my husband to see me for the very first time walking down the aisle, and that moment was indeed magical. It was an intimate experience, and we were both happy that we did it that way. We would not have done it any other way, and in addition to that, we got to share that experience with family and close friends. But for other couples, they may decide to do the first look.
Correct.
Right.
And I am one of those other couples, right? So as you know, if you've been following us, I got recently engaged and will be getting married. So the first look is something that I would personally definitely do. Like Jodian said, to each their own. We're all about personalization, so it's whatever works best for you, the couple. Now, for me, I would be completely open to the idea of seeing my fiance for the first time intimately, just the two of us. It's not important to me where he sees me for the first time, right? So for some persons, it must be like, for example, Jody, she wanted it to be when she's walking down the aisle to share that with family and friends. For me, I'm okay having it with us intimately. And there are many benefits and points as it relates to how that will come across. We're going to be speaking to the experts who are capturing the first look, see what their opinion is. But the benefits, Jodes, for the first look, for me, seeing him before allows us to truly express our raw emotions to each other, right? I feel as though, for example, especially for men, they're socialized not to wear their emotions on their sleeves. So I feel like in the setting where our family and friends and loved ones are there, someone may want to, especially the groom, may want to suppress his true emotions. I'm not going to cry, right? But when it's just the two of us, I cannot imagine anything more pure, more intimate, where we can just be real with each other and have that moment together. It will also allow me, Jodes, to, after we see each other, we get some beautiful shots before I'm walking down the aisle. Of course, I'm going to do an outside venue. We have 7 to choose from here. Love the Great House. Going to be talking about it. One of our special guests actually got married at the Rose Hall Great House, so stick around to find out which one it is.
I think it was the Mount Zion Church.
It was the Mount Zion Church?
Mount Zion Church, right.
Yeah, the Mount Zion Church was
right.
Okay, very good. He got married there. And then, so we're going to find out more about it. So for me, I get to go back, probably touch up my makeup, and I'll have more time to take more pictures later on. So there's so many benefits. Right. And you get to start on time because you have to be ready before the wedding. So you get to start on time.
Right.
What do you think?
For my ceremony, we actually started at 2 p.m. And with the ceremony just being for 20 to 30 minutes, I had enough time thereafter to take more photos, right? But for other persons, the decision really is yours. Speak with your photographer about this, right? And be guided accordingly. If you are doing a sunset wedding, you may have to consider doing a first look, right? Also, another benefit of doing a first look is it calms your nerves. Yes, it does. So you share that special, it actually calms the nerves. And another benefit, you get more time for photo opportunities, and you also get more time with your guests and family.
Excellent. I'm seeing here Jody, Eddie. Of course, Eddie, always bring the vibes, bring the love, bring the energy. So Eddie say, let the war start.
Yes.
It's all love here, Eddie. So we're going to be discussing to each their own, right? And with that in mind, we are now going to go over to the experts so they can tell us what it is like behind the scenes, experiencing and seeing the first look. Does it take away from when the groom sees the bride from the first time? With is Gary, our resident photographer. So let us know, Gary, we are ready to speak with you.
And viewers, please share your thoughts, your questions. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts? Yes. We're having a lovely discussion, and to each their own. There's no right way to do it. For to do or not to do the first look. Let's see. What are your thoughts in the comments?
Gary, let us know if you're ready.
He had sent something before.
All right. And for those who don't know, Gary is I mentioned, he's our resident photographer. So when you come to the Roseville Great House, he and his team, they also are there to take pictures of you when you go and do a tour, whether it's a day or the night tour. So you can see Gary and his team there. I did that when I was there with my family members for the night tour. And Gary is at our venues daily. He knows all the locations. Mm-hmm. When Gary takes pictures of, when he has his photo shoots there, I have to ask, where is this? So he knows every area, and I am intrigued to speak with him. How's everyone doing today? Let us know in the comments. Let's see who else is here. The Connect is here.
Event Elements Jamaica. Hi.
Hello, Event Elements. Love the work that you do. Hi.
Nice.
Hi. Yes. I think Event Element know why that why. Hi.
All right. Michael Saab, let us know if you are ready. Gary needs a few minutes, or Eddie. But guys, share your thoughts. We want to see the comments. Would you do a first look or not? Let us hear from you.
Can I talk? Since there's nobody talking. I don't think I'm talking.
All right, excellent. All right, so as we continue to wait for Gary, remember, again, I'm not sure, a lot of persons, they always know about the Roseville Great House. And we visited the Roseville Great House before. And as we continue to speak to persons and put what it is that we do here at Roseville, persons are always and continue to be amazed that, oh, you have 7 venues? Yes, we do. So we have visited our Palms venue, we have gone to our Roseville Great House, and we are yet to view, and we're going to be visiting the White Witch or White Witch Golf Club. It's an absolutely beautiful, exclusive space. Well, very lovely backdrop, lots of luscious greens, panoramic views of our Caribbean Sea. It doesn't get any better than the White Witch venue. And of course, the Johnny Cash Cinnamon Hill Great House, which is Jodie's space.
Yes,
I can allow you to speak a little bit more about that.
The Johnny Cash House, otherwise called the Cinnamon Hill Great House. It is surrounded by such lush tropical gardens. I love nature and the birds. And so it is quite exquisite for an intimate wedding with your family and your friends. And of course, you can do a tour of the house during the cocktail hour, so it is very special. Yes. But there are other beautiful venues that we do have, such as the Ocean's Edge, which is quite breathtaking. The Palms, of course. Right, so. Oh, let's see if Gary is ready.
Michael is on.
Oh, Michael. All right.
Hey.
So we're going to. Oh, Michael, hi. How are
Hi
you?
guys, I'm great.
Good morning,
Good
Michael.
morning.
Live. Everyone, this is Michael's first live. We are so honored that you chose to do this with us. We're excited to have you. You have diligently worked in this industry. You have nurtured this industry. You do it with passion and pride. I admire your work. And thank you for coming in front of the camera to be with us today. How do you feel, Michael?
Nervous. No, I'm good. It's great to be with you guys.
But so far, so good.
And viewers, Michael Saab is actually one of the most experienced and amazing photographer in Jamaica with over 25 years of experience, and he works with a great and dynamic team. So thank you, Michael, for being with us this morning.
You're welcome. Happy to be a part of the discussion.
A
Awesome.
legend.
How long have you been doing this, Michael? How long have you been a photographer?
I
What
have
started it?
been, well, I've been photographing, been a photographer for about 29 years. Weddings, probably about 25 years for weddings. It started when I was getting married. I had always had an interest in photography before, but it never really blossomed. But the year I was getting married, my aunt, who lives in England, she has her husband. He was an amateur photographer. And when he came for the wedding, he started, he got me interested and it showed me, stuff with the camera and stuff like that. And he left his camera with me. That was the good old analog days where you use film and, the camera had, you didn't have these fancy features and all of that. So yeah, that's how it started for me. I was a member of the JDF, and my photography grew while serving because I eventually became the company photographer and then the battalion photographer. And any events, right? Any
I would have never
events
thought.
they were having and so on, I photographed that. Sorry.
That's
Nice.
fine. That's
Nice.
awesome. It's awesome you could merge those two passions, Michael. And if it's to be, it is to be. So here you are as the photographer, and you've done many weddings at our Rosa Greathouse over the years.
Yes.
Tell us, what is it like for you shooting at the Rosa Greathouse? What's your favorite thing? Not just Rosa Greathouse, all our venues, right?
Well,
What is your favorite thing about shooting at Rosa?
that is one of the things that I like, that you have so many venues. There's a wide variety to choose from. I think I've shot at all the venues there, pretty much. The staff has always been great to work with, and there's just a lot going on for you guys with the various venues and so on. So yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you for that. All right. So as it relates to the topic at hand, the first book, Michael, we want your opinion on it, right? George decided that for the first time she wanted her groom to see her when he's walking down the aisle. I am okay with having that intimate moment with my fiance. So tell us, what are your thoughts from your experience? To do or not to do? What is the difference? What is your recommendation?
Actually prefer doing the first look.
Okay.
I say that there are two sides to the first look. There's a practical side and there's an emotional side. The practical side is that the bride and groom starts getting ready earlier. So more than likely they will be on time for their wedding. Sometimes weddings run a little bit late and so on, but you'll get ready earlier. You get to do photographs when your makeup is fresh,
Yes.
and the groom is not sweating as much and all that, right?
True.
And even if you're doing family photos at that time or bridal party photos at that time, everybody is fresh and ready to go. And also, it gives you time to enjoy your cocktail hour later.
Good point.
You know,
Good point.
because
You know, a lot of times, Michael, we do the cocktail hour to facilitate the photos. So that is
yes,
also a very good point for brides who are on a budget and you want to make sure that you are being as economical as possible. You have some weddings where there's no cocktail hour. We leave from the ceremony and we go directly to the reception. So if it is that you did a first look, you won't need a lot of time to take additional pictures, then you don't necessarily need a cocktail or a lengthy one at that. So thank you for bringing across that point.
yeah. And then most times when you do a first look, you get, as I said, you get to enjoy the cocktail hour. We may pull you aside if you like sunset photos. We may just pull you aside to do a couple sunset photos, and that's it. So there's the practicality of the first look. Like on the emotional side, I think you guys alluded to this earlier. you get to spend that intimate moment together at first, right? You're not under the pressure of being how you think somebody should be when the groom sees the bride for the first time walking down the aisle. He's not under the pressure, if he wants to hug her and give her a kiss right then and there. If you want to start crying, start laughing, you just get to be yourself at that intimate moment when you're seeing each other for the first time. So you're not constrained by, what others will think and so on. So I really like that about it. You get some nice, real emotional photos, at that time. And for me, there are people who think that it's gonna be different when he sees me coming down the aisle. Brides will think this, but I find that you get very good reaction from the groom when he sees the bride coming down the aisle, even after doing the first look, because it's basically two different events. Then it's two separate occasions. He's still gonna be happy to see you walking towards him. So that emotion is still going to be there. Seeing maybe your dad is escorting you down, and maybe dad has a little warning for him or something like that. So it does not really take away from that walking down the aisle.
Okay, nice. So, Michael, I know you might not have thought about this for your wedding, right? But did you do a first look or not?
I got married 29 years ago. There was no first look. There was no first look at that time.
Michael, for the renewal of vows, we're coming to your 30th year. Would you do a first look today?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. So I think so far we have two for definitely.
Yeah.
Jody is like, she wants to preserve that for when she's walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
Right? Let's take a look at the comments. Let's just assist us in scrolling down to see what persons are saying. Not seeing anything this time. Sure. Oh, here we go. All right, Eddie's still there. Someone was asking.
Oh, holy.
That's nice, Eddie. Eddie said he actually was on the change for your.
Right. We're seeing a comment here from Cooley Pitney. 1, 2, 3. Michael Saab did my wedding 18 years ago.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Amazing.
Do you remember Cooley?
18 years ago.
18 years ago.
I'll have to go and look at the profile.
Like Barry White. Listen, we're giving you lots of exposure here. We might be unearthing additional talents here, Michael.
Oh yes, I remember. Now that you mentioned a wedding show, I think that was at the Caribbean Show place. Wedding show that I'd met her. Yes, I remember now.
That's what the comment is saying. I met Michael Saab at a wedding show. Right.
Saw his works and picked him up on the spot. You're that good, Michael.
Yes, I remember now.
You are one of our preferred vendors. I love that. I love the tell me about why is it important for a couple, as we continue to go through these comments, I want you to tell us why is it important for a couple how important is it to be mindful of your photographer, who you select? How important is that?
All right. There are technical aspects to photography, right? But there's also the heart. Someone once said to me that you may produce the best photographs for a couple, but if the couple does not like you as a person, then they're not going to like the photographs. And you may produce photographs that are not technically the best, but once they like you as a person, then they're going to like their photographs. And I really believe that. You have to know your stuff as a photographer, yes. Right. Know the trade, the tools to use, when, where, how, why, use certain tools and so on. But you have to have that sort of personality as well, that people are going to like, right? Yeah, you have to be able to, maybe, what should I say, put up with some stuff.
Yes, the
you,
service
you have to
industry.
be
We
a,
have different personalities that we deal with.
yes.
Understand.
But a very good point, Michael.
Very
and
good
and
point.
we aim to do that here at Rosal to ensure that all our clients, they do communicate with us and of course the vendors, right? So we all are aware of their needs and personalities, of course.
Absolutely.
You're,
So thank you, Michael. Right? I'm sure if you have any other questions.
Yes. One last question, Michael. Are there any drawbacks to doing a first look?
you're breaking up. I'm not hearing you guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Ooh, not quite sure what's going on there.
Are you hearing us now?
Yes, it's a little better.
Okay, good. So we wanted to find out, are there any drawbacks, disadvantages to doing a first look?
Disadvantages of doing a first look. Yes, I mean, it's mostly for the people who are more traditional, you know, who believe that seeing each other for the first time is going to take away from what is going to happen when you see each other, you know, walking down the aisle. So there's that. But in a practical sense, I don't really think there's much disadvantage at all. It's just, you know, people who are more traditional, like Jody and I suppose, who thinks that,
And that's
For
fine.
some brides, they may think that their makeup might get, a little bit dewy, right? Or their dresses get a little dirty. But nonetheless, that is why there are wedding planners there, such as ourselves, right?
well,
Who have an amazing makeup artist. So
what we usually do with the first look,
Correct.
what we usually do is that we give enough time so that after we are done with the photographs, the bride would have some time to get her makeup refreshed before going to the ceremony. And the groom can probably grab a beer or some other type of drink with his, you know, with his groomsmen and so on before going to the ceremony. So you would still have fresh makeup going into the ceremony.
And your nerves will be more calm.
Yes, definitely. You have seen each other already.
Me personally.
Yeah.
Personally love the concept.
Jody, we are gonna bring you over into our camp.
For the renewal of her anniversary, yes. Yes, would you be open to that at all, Jody?
I might, because
Yeah.
I'd like to do a sunset.
Yes.
So yes.
And we highly recommend, even if, like Jody yourself, you were saying earlier that we highly recommend if you're doing a sunset wedding that you do a first look. Because otherwise your photos will be dark. Michael, you can
You need
speak on
natural
this. You
light,
need natural
right?
lighting.
Yes.
The photos will still be lovely because Michael, you have the equipment to make it work. Flash
Right.
light and whatever is needed. But the diversity of your pictures, the variety, that will definitely be a factor if it is that you're doing a sunset wedding. So pictures
Right.
before
And
for a sunset wedding, highly recommend it.
one of the things also is that a lot of times weddings run a little bit behind, right? So if the wedding starts to run late and you have not done your first look, sometimes by the time the ceremony is over, it starts to get dark, and you don't really have time to get good, nice family photos or bridal party photos. You may just have to, you know, sacrifice those and just grab a few shots of the bride and groom before it gets dark. So that is another advantage again of having the first look.
Excellent. Because you don't want to be rushed.
No.
Taking photos can be a little tedious. And I know for sure because I am on the scene. We see it, we experience it. And when you're taking a lot of pictures, right? You want to take with mom and aunts and cousins and bridal party. So when you do a few of those family shots beforehand and you're able to take that refresher break, touch up your makeup, have a beer, half the work is already done. You're not as flustered. Your energy is maintained to spend more time with your loved ones and enjoy, right? We're not
That's correct.
forcing this content on anyone, but it really works. And I'll share this with everyone as well. The first look is tied into an ancient tradition where there were arranged marriages. And as such, the groom would not see the bride before because they didn't want him to change his mind based on how she looked, right? So it is also tied into that, right? So I mean, there are many traditions when you look into it. Why is this being done? If it works for you, it works for you. If not, your wedding, your style. No two weddings should be the same. It's whatever works for you. And I applaud your level of customer service, Michael. It's always a pleasure working with you and your team. You're always accommodating when you're on our events, making sure that the customers' needs are met and managing everything to ensure that you get those photos that are required to be captured, despite whatever is going on. Someone running late, weather conditions. You are an exceptional example of service delivery in this industry, and we're proud to partner with you. All right.
Can you still see me?
Everyone, follow Michael. Cheer him on. This was his first live. He told me he would be on for 2 minutes. Right? How many minutes? No. I know.
15 minutes.
Michael, thank
It's been a pleasure.
We'll allow you final thoughts before you hang up. Anything you want to share with the viewers that are on?
Not really. follow us, follow our Instagram pages. I think Eddie is gonna be on next, so just stay tuned to have some fun.
I know he takes the fun, but thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
We'll connect soon. Stay safe.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Amazing.
That's awesome. Well, what did you think about that? I so love working with Michael. Michael has been working 29 years, like he said, a photographer, and persons with experience like that, they have seen everything possible. Like they know how to, and that's the difference when you're working with someone that is in control of your wedding. Photography is important.
That's what you need.
Someone that knows how to handle whatever that may happen on that day, whether it's weather conditions or if something is running late for whatever reason. They know how to pivot to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Absolutely. And once you get in touch with us, we will connect you with Michael's for your photos.
Excellent.
Let's look at
the comments. So Gary, we still have not spoken to Gary. So Gary, we're going to be looking at reading the comments. Let us know when you're on. All right?
So Trudy Morrison says, I love when couples decide to have first look shoots. I agree with Michael 100. Shows that he is not just a photographer, but his heart is in photography.
Like me.
All
right.
Nice, Trudy.
So one more for the first look. Thank you, Trudy. And I see you're a photographer as well. Thank you for joining us. And then Wing Castro said, you go, Daddy. I guess that was Michael's daughter. Hello. Beyond Majas. Is that Majas? Majash. Yes, the first look. All right. Set the stage wedding planning 876. Mr. Sav taught me pro photography about 10 years ago.
Look at that.
Look at that. Awesome. Someone says he's the best. Good job, Michael. Thank you. Great point from Cameron. Someone was saying no sound. Is everyone hearing us?
Oh,
now?
and Trudy made a point. She said the advantages of doing a first look. Hold on. The advantages of doing a first look far outweighs any possible negatives. Also, the makeup tends to look better in photos when it starts to blend into the skin, in opposed to when it is just applied. And that's true, Trudy.
You go,
when it
Trudy.
oxidizes, it looks beautiful, flawless. Yeah,
absolutely.
As long as it's intact.
That is true, because sometimes that is a very good point. And this is the thing. That is why we chose to speak to the photographers. They're behind the scenes. They're the ones who are seeing it up close. So they know what is going on. And sometimes the bride may be at one venue and she has to be transported from that area to the other, to the ceremony venue. And all of that may affect how the makeup is, the hair. So when you are at your venue where you're getting ready and the photographer is just to the first look, you are really at your tip-top shape at that point. And the photos will be absolutely beautiful. beautiful. For the photography aspect, it's not just the practicality of it. It's not just the practicality. The emotions are still captured when you do that for the first time, and also when you're walking down the aisle, it is still there. Like the groom still cannot believe it. Like she's still coming.
Yeah,
she's my wife. And we speak a lot about the groom's perspective. And I know that brides get emotional as well. So when we do connect with Gary, we're still waiting on you. We hope you're going to be able to connect with us today, right? We're going to hear from you. I want to hear a little bit about what the bride's reaction is, because I'm a very emotional person, and I know he's going to look absolutely handsome. So we do get emotions from the bride as well. Right. I want to hear a little bit about that. What are our thoughts? Trudy, what do you think? For those who are here with
Eddie as well.
Eddie's going to be coming on to join us. Let's see what is happening. All right. Giggles, I see you in the comments. Where are you? He said I sent like 4 times. All right. Log out and try again. The 5th one is going to be the charm. So try again, Eddie. Send us the request. Let's go back up a little to see. What is Samora Pinnock 18? Hi, how may one be considered working with wedding planner like you ladies? And feel free to contact us. We'll take a review of what it is, what your work is. And there are always couples who seek professional services. So we'll speak to our couples and see what it is that you're looking for. And we always match our couples with vendors that we believe will create what it is that you're looking for. So contact us.
And the email address is weddings&events@rosehall.com. Or give us a call at 876-953-2341. Right. All right. So that's about it. Eddie, are you ready? We are ready for you.
Are we ready for Eddie?
Yeah.
Very good, because feel the rhythm, feel the vibe.
Yes.
Eddie is coming on, the love, the vibe, the energy. Eddie is a professional. He does lighting,
DJ
services,
and a wide range of things.
He's
but he is phenomenal. He actually extends his services to us here in Jamaica and also internationally in the US. So Eddie is well versatile, yes. Right. So Eddie, are you ready? No? Okay. So we'll just look. Are there any other comments? As we wait. That was a very good interview with Michael.
Yeah. It certainly was. I wanted to hear from them, because like I said, Jody, a lot of traditions that are in place is not very applicable to our current time and our era, but for some reason we all still continue to do it. I think we may have gotten, okay, so I think you got disconnected. Was it Eddie or Gary? Gary, you got disconnected, so try again. You got disconnected twice, Gary? Try again, Gary. Try again. We're pausing.
We're gonna wait.
We want you here with us, Gary. Because Gary is a bundle of love. Like he said, Giggles. And like Michael Saab said earlier, your personality is so important. Customer service delivery. And this is Giggles photography. So you are going to be laughing. You're going to be comfortable the entire time. So we want to have your energy, your love, your laughter with us today, Gary. So try again. We saw you. You got disconnected. Let's see what our team is saying. We certainly can. We can speak to. But I think he's trying, but they're not getting connected to him. All right. So let's try either one, Gary or Eddie. We'll continue to try for Gary. We'll continue to try for Gary. But Eddie, if you are ready, so are we. Looking forward to connecting with you. Any questions for us in the meantime?
Let us know if you have any comments or questions.
How is it going for everyone? Any brides here? When are you getting married? How is it going for him? Is anyone here that is going to be getting married? Alright. We have a lot of photographers with us today. That is awesome. So Claudia Ross photography, the first to give couples more time to spend together. That's so very. Eddie says he has so much to say.
Eddie's on.
Eddie!
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're amazing. How are you?
With this
I
COVID
am
thing,
so blessed and happy.
this COVID thing is weird.
How are you?
How you guys doing?
I'm doing fine. Blessed and giving thanks. Wait, Eddie? No, where is Eddie?
No, I haven't got to the barbers yet. I'm waiting to get to the barber. I haven't got here. It's like
Eddie!
really crazy now.
I wasn't. But you should have known.
Yeah,
I
should have known.
I didn't know. Correct.
I don't know if you guys like it, but it's a new hairstyle that I'm actually selling. I'm in here right now, hair and makeup. So if you want your hair done like mine, you get it did, I could do it for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for going above and beyond. Can we get this audio up a bit, Kai? Well, thank you for going up. Yes, thank you for going above and beyond. So, Eddie, welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wonderful. So you've heard us talking. We spoke to Michael, which you are a very good friend of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And want to hear from you. First, I just want you to take the stage, take the microphone, Eddie, and tell us
Right.
what it is that you love about Rosal, what you do, what you love about Rosal.
At first, I want to send greetings to everybody. For my mother, my father, Miss Matthew, who posted 10 kittens last week. Greetings to everybody who is on the live. All right. Look at myself. No, this live for me is very special, and it's so special that I didn't even observe it. But Michael, the first wedding I ever did, the first wedding ever was the Cooley picnic, Suzette at Ritz-Carlton with Michael Saal. That was my first wedding, and she's on right now, so I'm just super excited. Let's talk about Rose Hall.
Yes.
All right, my first wedding at Rose Hall was in 2013. And when I got there, I told the planner then that I'm getting married here. And I did get married at Rose Hall Great House because the venues are just simply amazing. I took my wife, we went to the Great House, and then she went to not Cinnamon Hill, White Witch. And when we got there, she said, "This is it." We went to no other venue. She said, "This is it. This is what I wanted." So for me, what I love about Rose Hall is that you have it's the best of every single world. Let's wind this off now. Yeah, it's getting hot now.
Thank you. I mean,
so the beauty of Rose Hall.
Eddie, you are an international photographer and videographer, cinematography. You've worked with celebrities, and they're going to speak about it. But to put this into perspective for everyone, us at Rose Hall, when we say we have exclusive and exquisite, luxurious spaces, we are speaking facts. Yes. So just wanted to put that into perspective. Eddie has seen a lot, experienced a lot, and you have to take his word for it because he got married.
I got married
here.
I've worked at many venues before, but the thing with the unique thing about Rose Hall is that they have greenery, they have the ruins, the aqueduct, they have the beach, they have the golf course, they have the scenery, they have it's like everything you need for a wedding is at one place. I have never had a bad wedding there. And in essence, for somebody who does cinematography, the visuals for me is just amazing. Right now, my niece is getting married. I know she's getting married at Rose Hall. Right at Rose Hall. She said she wanted a destination wedding, and that's the place I recommended because it is super awesome. I tell you this much, there are some people online that are there, some planners, but I did a video for you guys. I want to take it overseas and show planners. They go crazy. They really want to walk up weddings there. It's super awesome. Super awesome. Oh, and cover me up tents is here. I remember the day I was getting married. We had really bad weather, and I went to Conrad. I said, Conrad, I really disappointed. And he said, guess what? Do it inside. Do it inside inside White Witch, and it was just simply amazing. Thanks, Conrad.
Well,
And my niece is here also. Getting married. Yeah.
Cover me up. Awesome.
and Eddie, you got married at the Mount Zion Church, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about why you chose the Mount Zion Church for the ceremony.
First of all, my wife was in charge of that part, and she said it has to be in a church. No matter what, it must be in a church because we're a Christian, so it must be done in a church. And I said, okay, you could get this church if I control the music, the light, and everything else. I said, okay, it was a deal. But the church, the church, for filming there, it has character. For photos, Michael would tell you it has character more than anything else. So when you get there, it's just an old looking church from maybe in the 1620s. So when you decorate it properly, it's so awesome. And the people there, they're easy going, easy to work with.
Nice. And you did the reception at White Witch.
At the White Witch. At the White Witch.
Amazing. Right.
The photos, we got to go to the aqueduct for the photos and the Great House for the photos, which is good because once you book, you have so many venues to choose from that you could do photos at so many different places, have so many different looks, and that's why I loved it. And just to put a disclaimer out there, my niece will be doing photos in the house, so you guys, my niece will be doing photos in the house. I don't know what I allowed in the house, but my niece will be doing photos in the house.
And we hear you, Eddie.
Yes.
We hear you. No, but we do make exceptions. The bride and the groom, we do allow them to take intimate photos. We have a conversation because what it is, the Great House is a national heritage site. Everything there has to be preserved and maintained and protected. So for the bride and the groom, even if the bride wants to make her entrance through the house, that's another option, and the versatility of those are Great House. So for the bride, we are able to control that. And they can go through the house to make her entrance and to take pictures. Right?
Perfect.
So yes, your niece will be taking pictures
in the house.
But I think that is so excellent, Eddie, and the convenience and the variety of Rosal. You got married on one day, but you were able to experience 4 different venues. The church for the ceremony, the White Witch for the reception, photos at the Great House, and the aqueduct. And the oceans are just right there, so you could also go there as well. So
Amazing. So Eddie, you know that we're discussing to do or not to do the first look. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Did you do a first look or you did not? What are your thoughts?
Peacefully, Eddie.
Yes.
This one, I saw that you did the research because I did my research on the first look, and it was for the tradition. And you said it, Gertie. The tradition was when you're having an arranged marriage, which I wasn't having. You understand? You do it just to ensure that when the groom to the bride for the first. Before the groom will run off and say, oh God, she's too ugly. So that's why I did the first. You understand? So for me, all right, I went talk from a groom point of view and from a cinematographer point of view. For me, the biggest thing for the day was seeing her for the first time in the dress. All right, that's the biggest thing. And I'm an emotional person. I tell people I watch girly flicks. I watch romance movies day and night. I cry when I edit. So I'm a very emotional person. So when to see her for the first time was the biggest thing for me. It was the most important thing. And the dress was like, I know that would be the greatest thing. So the first look was important for me because I didn't want to be around my thugs. Because I can't get emotional around my thugs. You understand?
They've never seen you cry, Eddie. They're talking about you cry. Real men cry, Eddie.
I didn't cry, but I was close to it. I was really close to it. I was really close to it. And the reason why, because my team did the video, so I couldn't really, put it down in front of them. Yeah. But what it does is it gives you a lot of opportunities. So from when I saw her, I was in my own zone. You understand? And I could tell her exactly how I feel without other people being there. Because if I did that aisle and she walk up the aisle, I'd be like, yo, she pretty, you understand? But at this point, I could be who I really am and just express myself the way I want to express myself. And the photographer was Michael Saab, who understands the moment. And yeah, my photographer was Michael Saab. I chose the best person in front of the camera to do it. And it was Michael Saab. And he understood the moment, and it was just the most amazing moment. Like, that's when I think about it right now, it puts it right back there on the feeling. And the thing about it that we don't even observe is that when I got back to the church and she coming in again for the first time, the emotions were still there. So I got a double dose of emotions.
I like that. Thank you for sharing.
So you just solidified my thoughts, my opinion of the book. I think a lot of persons prefer not to do it because they feel as though it will take away from you, sees you for the first time. But I believe when you have it as a couple in an intimate setting, you're allowed to be even more emotional, to express your emotions, because yes, you're not going to show the emotions around the house, right? So, and knowing the person that I am, like, I'm very emotional as well. Love my family members, especially my mom. So I know me, like, I'll probably want to stop and say, "Mother, are you okay?" Right? As I'm walking down the aisle. So when I'm able to just focus on the two of us, I feel like you get better emotions. And
Much
as a
better.
groom standing in that space, Michael, for example, did not have a first look because first look wasn't a thing when he got married.
He was in
did.
arranged
And
marriages
you
in
can tell us from your experience that
1921.
it doesn't take away from when she's walking down the aisle. I love that.
So even from a cinematographer's point of view, I'll tell you this: people say the first look isn't. They don't want to do it because of the emotions. I remember I went at it was at a different resort, and the groom, big, strap, thick, workout, big man, a thug, and he said to me he won't cry. He did the first look, and he cried like a baby, and went to the aisle and cried again when she walked in like a baby. So it is a different experience because seeing her for the first time is one experience, but seeing her again coming down the aisle, that's when it really is happening. So it is amazing. The first look, the advantages of a first look from a cinematographer point of view, it gives you so much time to get so much shots or so much story. Because after, if it wants to do it before, you get all those shots out of the way in nice lighting, and you get time to spend for them to spend time together. And the emotions are strong and genuine and real. It just happened. So everything else after that is natural. The emotions are natural right after that. When you do it at the ceremony, afterwards it's not. It's great, but it's not as emotional as seen for the first time. And then even after the ceremony, we still can get more shots afterwards. So for me, I'll always encourage a bride to do a first look. Always encourage a bride. Sometimes really hands just to do a first look.
And as you're speaking, Eddie, it occurred to me that a couple, when they do the first look and they're with their photographer and videographer, cinematography like you, it allows them to become a little acquainted with the camera and how to pose and look and to make more comfortable versus when you're at the ceremony. Because a lot of persons you may have to be prompting them with instructions. Right. Some persons may want candid pictures. Some of them you really have to guide them. So this is another benefit. Like you become a little bit more comfortable. You understand what is expected and calms your nerves generally. Yeah. And there's so many. It's not just it's very practical, right? But the benefits for the bride and the groom is tremendous. It's so much. I highly recommend it. It makes absolute sense. So
also,
thank you for that.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. No, also I was saying that you get the chance. The bride and groom also sometimes get the chance to go to the cocktail hour, to be a part of the cocktail hour. Sometimes that's another huge benefit where they can go and relax with the family and friends before the reception starts. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Okay, and even Joel just said, another photographer just said, after the first look, they get a chance to get back to the room to touch the makeup up, which is really awesome. So that's another really, really big thing about the first look. Yeah.
It really is. We're gonna take a look at the comments, but I want you to tell me, Eddie. We've been speaking about the response, the reactions from the groom, how the groom responds, seeing her for the first time in her dress. What is your experience as it relates to the bride? What is the bride's reaction usually like? Are you able to speak on that? So our bride, so we can know how we should feel about it. What is our reaction like?
All right. It's normal for the brides. Let me tell you, they see the walking down, right? No, mark you. Let me explain what a first look is. The groom is standing with his back turned, and the bride is walking down. Now, think about this. You guys are dating for 3 to sometimes 10 years, and a bride, most females, from you're a kid, you're dreaming about getting married. You're dreaming about this big day. And as the bride walks down, the emotions is just building. The groom, from a groom's perspective also, you know, you want to see her, you want the dress. When a guy makes up his mind to get married, he's very serious and he's very into it. So you're there, the groom is there, and his facial expression. No, to film this is how we do it. To film it. So from this, you get the bride's reaction. To film it, we have to have a tight shot of the groom's face, because his reaction as she comes up and his breathing is going to change as she gets closer. So you get the tight shot to get all the emotions from the groom. The bride's emotion will explode when she gets to him and he turns around. So it's a wider shot to show the walk up of the bride. Sometimes we may even go in front of the bride and walk with the bride to a certain point. And at this point, once we pull back and they're going to go together, we all pull back. All of us pull back and allow them to have their moment. She walks up and she'll touch him whichever way she pleases. Yeah, love is love is done in different ways. You have some persons who, when they're in love, they kiss a lot. Some persons who they hold hands. Some persons, this is how they laugh at each other. So people show love in many different ways. So some first look, you may have the bride grab the butt of the groom. You understand? Which you know that it's a fun bride. But the reaction of the bride when he turns around is, this day is real. This day that I've been dreaming about for so long, it's real and it's happening now. And those words that are exchanged in that moment, it's just awesome. And most of the photographers that I work with will not say a word for 5 minutes. And they're just there for 5 minutes in the moment, spinning, looking around, and that's the story right there.
Yes. Are you becoming a little bit more convinced now, Jody?
Story right there. Yeah.
You know, I'm not opposed to it. It was just a preference for not to do the first look. But Eddie, your thoughts are very, very, very informative and very helpful to our viewers.
Thank you.
Brides, and thank you so much. Do you want to share anything with our viewers?
I wanted to ask you, Eddie, as you're going to share though, a lot of persons, I want you to explain. I think you actually answered my question just now when you were explaining what goes into organizing the first look, how you arrange the bride walking with her. Some persons may opt to do photography and not video, which would lead into cinematography on your end. I mean, does everyone even know what cinematography is? And your videos, in the same way that when you come into any room or we're doing this call, we never know what to expect when Eddie's going to be there. But once we meet you, you leave a beautiful, positive impact, and it is to be remembered. And I find this is the same thing with your work. It is unique, it is personalized, and it is unforgettable.
Thank you.
So tell me, why should a bride book a couple, or even an event, because we do events as well. Why should you have a videographer at your event and cinematography? And how do you go about making what you do unique to each couple?
All right. Wow, that's a very good question. That question. All right.
Oh, yes. I'm breaking down like piece by piece.
My journey started.
Why should we book a videographer? Some person would just book you, Eddie. Why should we book you?
All right. The reason for booking a cinematographer is it's just your memories. Now, 10 years ago, no, not 10,